Alright, hey everyone out there in Banjo land, Mike Heading here, coming to you today with a little banjo mini lesson. This is a movable melodic pattern that I developed, and I'm not saying I made it up or anything, but this is one thing I discovered one day while practicing, and it's probably one of the most useful things that I've ever worked on, and I'm still trying to discover all the advantages of it, and it's something I use a ton in jams and gigs, and if I'm learning some new song that it's got some tougher chords that I'm not familiar with. So there's so many valuable things that you can do with this exercise. So I'm going to break it down. I've got the tab for you. I'm going to show you all my different fingerings, and we'll get you started. So let's break down the movable melodic pattern. Okay. So I'm going to start up at the 8th fret of the 2nd string, and I'm going to use my 2nd finger. And then I'm going to put my 1st finger on the 7th fret of the 1st string, and then my ring finger all the way up on the 9th fret of the 5th string. Okay, so if fretting the 5th string is new to you, this is going to give us some really good practice, because we're going to have to use our 5th string, and we're going to be fretting those notes. So we're either going to be using our 3rd finger or our thumb. Okay, so I'll show you both ways, and you can decide what works best for you. But I do it for the first one with my 3rd finger. So you're doing 8, 7, and 9. So index, middle, thumb with your right hand. So it's the first 3 notes of a G scale, G, A, B. Okay, so that's the first one. Then we're going to slide up with our 2nd finger to the 10th fret. You're going to keep your 2nd finger down, slide up to the 10th fret. Your 1st finger is going to slide up to the 9th fret, and then you're going to wrap your thumb around on the 10th fret of the 5th string. Okay, now we're going to slide up, and this one's a little bigger of a stretch, so I move my 3rd finger to the 12th fret of the 2nd string, then use your 1st finger on the 10th fret of the 1st string, and you're going to reach your middle finger all the way up to the 12th fret of the 5th string. And you're going to do that same right hand the whole time, index, middle, thumb. That one's a little bit of a stretch, so you use your thumb. Push off with your thumb on the back of the neck to give you a little bit of support there. Okay, now we're flipping back. Slide up to the 13th fret with your 2nd finger, 12th fret with your 1st, and then back to your ring finger on the 14th fret of the 5th string. Same roll. Keep that same shape and just move everything up 2 frets. Slide everything up 2 frets, and then let your thumb take back over on the 17th fret. Slide up 2 more, let your 3rd finger take over on the 19th fret of the 2nd string, way up there, 17th fret of the 1st string, and then your 2nd finger on the 19th fret of the 5th string. Then we're flipping all the way back around again, and we're back to our octave. Same position that we started with, but a little bit of a stretch. So 20, 19, and 21. Okay, so that's our scales. Let me play it a little faster. You can kind of hear how it sounds together. Okay, what's cool about this is, again, since we've already modified all the notes to fit our scale, we know all those notes are really safe. So if we're in G, you could basically go to any of those positions. Whoops. Again, I'm not doing any particular roll with my right hand. What's so nice about this is, since we've already, we've got 3 notes that we know are safe in every position. That's why I did it with 3 notes. Again, we got 3 notes. we got 3 fingers with our right hand, so if we know we've got 3 safe notes, whatever roll we do with our right hand is going to work out. So again, you can go backwards, you know, do a forward roll. Again, and think of it in terms of a pattern. So it's a shape. You're either, you know, there's 3 shapes. There's this one, and then this one. And it's just a combination of those 3. So once you get that down, and it takes a little bit of practice, but what's so cool about that is, again, it works in every key, and it doesn't matter, you know, where you are or what, you know, where you are on the neck and what key you're in, you can make that little pattern work. So let's say we want to do something in F, the key of F, and you might say, oh, well, I don't know any melodic licks in the key of F. So we can take that little scale, we just move everything down 1, again, now we got a little bit of an F, you know, at least something we can start working on. Again, so, you know, it's a really good way to dip your toe in the water on some of those harder keys and positions. Again, you don't want to have to stray away from that. If someone says, hey, I want to do something in E flat or C sharp or whatever it is, again, you can just, another really cool thing about this is, let's say you don't even know what song or key the song's in, you can take your second finger and just move it around until you find something that sounds good. Oh, okay, they're in A. Again, you don't even have to know what key they're necessarily in. You don't even have to know that's A. You can just start using that pattern, and again, you know that all those notes are safe because you've already modified them to fit your scale. So again, you know that you're already safe. So any of those notes are going to work. Again, so you can go backwards, you can go forwards, you can skip around. Another really cool thing you can do is, so let's say you've got this shape, which is kind of our major. So this is G major. If I switch that and wrap my thumb around, we got G minor. So anywhere we do that, so if someone says, hey, quick, I need a G minor lick. You know, you can go up to here and you say, okay, I know where G is, G major. Okay, now I'm going to wrap my thumb around. I've got 3 notes. Again, it doesn't matter what roll you do because you've got 3 safe notes. So at least, again, it's not the end-all, be-all. I'm not saying it's going to work for every position, but it's a starting spot, especially if you're in a jam and you don't have time to go home and work stuff out because you need to play something right on the spot. This is a great exercise because, again, you know you've got something and all you do is make that modification. Okay, major, minor, and it's just wrapping that thumb around. And again, being able to play melodies on this 5th string is absolutely critical to being able to play melodic banjo. You know, you're going to need to play on that string to get some of the melodies to work out. Otherwise, you're going to be moving around way more than you need to, or doing some crazy finger stretches that you don't need to. Again, so really use these, and use my suggested, or try and use my suggested fingerings if you can, because sometimes there's some logic there. You know, to be able to move to the next one, you have to have some certain fingers freed up, or you want to keep, you know, keep one finger down as kind of an anchor finger. The last thing I'd say is, again, you can do this, it also works backwards. So even if you don't have all the notes down here, like let's say I'm in D, you know, so normally I'd have to start down here, but I don't have enough notes to do it. You can still start the pattern and just pretend that you skip the first one and then go up. You know? Again, so even if you don't have all the notes down here, you can still use that as a jumping off point to start the pattern until you can get to the point, you know. Again, so you can play a lot of or at least starting little melodic licks in any key. You know, again, you can move it up half step, that'd be E flat. So I'd really challenge you to try some of these, and especially try it in, you know, in a weirder key or something, just to, again, think of it as a pattern, not something you have to remember each key. Think of it as a shape, you know, so it's that one, you know, that. Again, you just keep that pattern going, and again, it might take you a little time to work it out and get familiar with the pattern, but once you do, again, this is kind of my go-to safety net for melodic stuff. If I need a quick little lick and it's over some chord that I don't know, I'll just usually go to that pattern and make the shape and then just start rolling on it and at least get something started. All right, good work.